Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome to my video series, Move Bigger, Move Better, where I teach you ways to make everyday movements easier. This series was initially designed for people with Parkinson's or other neurological conditions. They tend to move slow and small, but it can be useful to anybody who has issues with everyday mobility. Over the course of these videos, I'll be showing you simple techniques with everyday movements, such as how to get up and down out of a chair, how to lie down and get up, how to walk, and in various conditions. I hope you find this video series to be helpful to you. Now let's get started. Today, I'd like to talk about ways to get in and out of a chair more easily. So there are a few different ways that you can do this. If you don't need a lot of help with your arms, you can try to do it without your arms completely by using a good body shift. So this is how that would look. You would extend forward with your arms, getting your weight over your feet and standing up nice and tall. To sit down, arms go back out for leverage as I look at my feet to sit down. The most important thing with all of these movements is to use big movements with big power. That's what's going to get you forward. And by shifting your weight over your feet using the mechanics, that right there will eliminate the need for so much strength. Many people think that they're not strong enough to do it the way I just did it. But it's less about strength and more about your technique. Now, if you need a little bit more help than that, try scooting out to the edge of the seat and use a big movement to pick up your hip, scoot out to the edge. Some chairs tend to be a little bit bowed in the seat and you might feel like you're in a hole. So by scooting out to the edge, that will eliminate that dip that you're sitting in. But again, I would like you to try to extend your arms forward to bring your weight over your feet, which, by the way, should be about under your knees or a little bit back. Again, pushing forward, pushing through my legs, big movement, standing tall. And to sit down, arms out for leverage, looking at my toes, thereby keeping my weight over my feet. A couple of things that I have seen people do. One is to stand up, they will press their legs back against the chair, and then they're struggling to get their weight forward. If the legs don't come forward, then you're not taking your weight forward, okay? The second issue is when sitting down. When people don't keep their eyes on their toes and they go back too far, they lose their balance because their weight has shifted back behind their feet, and that makes them fall. Some people who like to reach for the chair, who need that support, they'll do it by twisting around, and then they've twisted their body, and they can't always find the other arm because they've twisted, and so now they're kind of lost, and they're losing their balance as they try to reach, and they fall into the chair. So if you do need to use the chair arms to help you, this is how I want you to do it. First off, use a big movement and make sure that you let go of that chair when it's time. At a certain point, you have to let go in order to stand tall. Some people will stop here and then they lose their balance when they try to let go because their weight isn't over their feet. That is the most important part. People are often fearful of falling forward when they do this maneuver. But in 28 years of doing this, I have never had anyone fall forward. People fall backward because they don't shift forward enough. So again, good power, big push. And when you need to sit down, reach both hands back as you sit and lower yourself down gently. I hope that helps. So now we're going to go over how to help someone stand up when they're weaker or have more difficulty doing it on their own. So my friend Annette here is here to help me illustrate this. The easiest way to help them is if you have a gait belt to put around them that gives you a handle to pull on. The worst thing that you can do when you're trying to help someone get up is to pull on their arm, because by doing so, I've now taken away her ability to use that arm. So make sure you're actually holding onto the person or a belt, okay? Now let's see what she can do with just a little bit of help. If you noticed, her hands stayed back on the chair for kind of an extra period of time, which held her back, so she needed more help to come forward. All right, Annette, now sit down. Now again, this time, she went back fairly early, which made her rely a lot on her arms, and she could have easily plopped into the chair if I hadn't been there holding her. So now I'm going to ask her to scoot forward in the chair. And again, big movements are what we're looking for. If she inches her butt very slowly, it's going to take more energy and more time. Instead, I want a big scoot. So show me a big scoot, Annette, to the edge of the chair. Nice job. All right, and this time, show me a big effort to push up from the chair, using your arms, coming forward over your feet, and go. By having my hand back here behind her on the belt, I'm encouraging her to come forward over her feet so she's less inclined to lose her balance backward. Now to sit down, I always instruct them to bend first, then reach for the chair. If she were to twist around and try to reach, she's now twisting her body and won't be well aligned with the seat. Likewise, if she tries to reach back with both hands without bending, she's leaning back and likely going to fall into the chair. Okay? So again, bending, reaching, and sitting. Keeping her nose over her toes, keeps her weight over her feet, reducing the plump, as we all have seen, I'm sure, many times. Thanks for joining me today. If you found this video useful, hit the like button or subscribe if you want to be sure not to miss any future videos. If there are any specific issues or questions that you have for me, feel free to message me directly or include it in the comments below. And remember, move bigger, move better, and with big effort. See you next time.